This segment of Delmarva Life is brought to you by the law offices of Tunnell and Raysor.
You don't need me to tell you the graduation looked a lot different this year. Families having to get quite creative with the way they celebrate their beloved graduate. Now, a lot of times for the graduate, that means party, of course, in a very safe and socially distanced way. How about we stick with that safety here for just a second? I'd like to introduce to you Kelly Geloff, managing partner with the law offices of Tunnell and Raysor. How are you this afternoon, Kelly?
Great, thank you. Thanks for having me.
You betcha. Thanks for talking to us. So let's talk about underage drinking at the house. What kind of problems are we leading ourselves into?
That's a huge responsibility and liability by having people who are underage drinking at your home, at a party. My suggestion is to not do it.
Okay, so it's summertime. We got a pool in the backyard. Let's go out and have a good time. What if, let's say we have an in-ground pool, somebody slips, somebody falls, bumps their head. Am I liable for that?
Possibly. Oftentimes not. I mean, Delaware has a statute that basically if you're a guest there and something happens, it's not the owner's responsibility because you're a guest in their home. However, if the owner should have known that there was something severely wrong with that particular pool or something around it, basically it was obvious, they should have fixed it. There's some potential liability on the part of the homeowner. So you do have to be careful. You do want to make sure that you take a look around your property and make sure that everything is in safe condition. You don't want your own family member, of course, getting hurt, and you don't want other people getting hurt. There is a possibility of a risk of being responsible for someone else's injuries. It's just typically not very high because you do have this guest statute.
If I know that it's slippery when wet, can I put up a sign that says no running? Will that cover me?
It may cover you. There's really no black and white answer to that. Every case is very different. There's a lot of circumstances that could surround what happens in that scenario. But it's something that definitely could not hurt, especially if you do know that it can get a little slippery when wet.
So if we move from the pool to the trampoline, what kind of trouble am I in if I open up the trampoline to the kids?
Trampolines are tough, but I know that they're lots of fun for kids. It really is along the same lines, though, as we were talking about with the pool, in that you need to make sure that it is put up properly. It's as safe as it can be. We know that there are certainly some injuries that can happen from it, and that's just the nature of having a trampoline. However, if you make sure that you are doing everything the way that the directions say that they're supposed to be done, then you have a very low likelihood of being responsible for any injuries that happen. That is tricky, though, because you see lots of trampolines that really go into disrepair. They've been around for a while. They haven't been used for a while. Again, you want to make sure that any equipment that you allow other people on, or even your own family members on, that it is in good condition so that they don't get injured and that you don't have to deal with possibly being responsible for their injuries. Most insurances for your home, whether you're a homeowner or a renter, they do have what's called a med pay portion. It's sort of a no-fault insurance that if someone is injured on your property, that the medical bills can get paid up to a certain dollar figure. Sometimes it's $5,000, but sometimes it's something, because you do many times have people over your home that may not even have health insurance. So it's just something that you might want to look at your insurance policy to see if you have some kind of med pay coverage for people who get injured, even if it isn't your fault.
An important point. Thank you for bringing that up. So, Kelly, I've got some of the greatest dogs in the world. What if somebody comes in and says that one of my pets bit them?
You are responsible, likely. Again, in Delaware, if your dog bites somebody and they have injury because of it, the person who owns the dog is responsible for taking care of those medical bills and any injuries that may come from the dog bite. And that's, of course, if the person pursues that. It's not sort of something that happens automatically, but it is something you have to be aware of. So you do have to know your dog, especially if it does have a propensity to be aggressive. You would rather not have that dog around people when you have them in your home, just so you don't have to deal with that risk.
So if I find out they were teasing or antagonizing my pet, do I have a chance here?
Again, the case could be a case-by-case basis where you'd have to know what actually surrounded the circumstances. It would have to be pretty aggressive, typically speaking, on the part of the person instigating the dog. And that's really tough to prove. So more times than not, the person who is the owner of the dog is the one that becomes responsible for any injuries that dog may cause.
Kelly, I don't know what we'd do without you. Managing partner with Tunnell and Raysor, Kelly Geloff. Thank you very much.
Thank you.